Hi, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Nico, and I use he, him pronouns. I'm a white man with parted blonde hair, large blue and brown spectacles, wearing a tan button-up shirt. I'm seated indoors against a purple wall and some bookcases. And, like about 25% of the US population, I'm disabled. Non-disabled individuals might see our lives as tragic, sad, pitiful, but I don't know, guys. I've been disabled a pretty long time, and I think that disabled joy also exists, and more importantly, that there exists room for disabled joy. The disability community has as many perspectives as it has members, which is why I've asked my friend Hawa here with me today to talk about disabled joy. Hawa, thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thank you for the invitation, and just to give everyone sort of a description of myself, I'm wearing a black top with gray pants. My hair is pulled back in a ponytail, which is dark brown to black, and in my background, you'll see my mobility device, which is a red scooter, and a white wall with a whiteboard behind me. But I really want to thank Nico for the invitation and to talk about, the positive aspects that come with living with a disability, which is an important topic that I don't think gets talked about enough. So I'm really excited to be here.
Thank you for those kind words. Hawa, can you share a joyful memory with us? It could be, something that has to do with your disability, or it could be independent of that. Either is valid.
I think one of the most memorable experiences and joyful experiences I've had as someone with a disability was about over 10 years ago when I had the fortunate experience of traveling to Costa Rica with my family. And before the trip, I had seen a documentary reality show about this little family have who had dwarfism travel to Hawaii and do ziplining. And from that moment, all I wanted to do was try it. So during our trip to Costa Rica, I went to a lot of different places, and everybody said, no, you can't do it because we have to carry you up the mountain, and that's not possible. But I didn't give up. And this one night, right before we were leaving, we were having pizza in a restaurant, and I was telling my dad how disappointed I was that I hadn't tried ziplining yet. So this one gentleman who was listening said, do you have a minute to talk? And he asked me if I really wanted to do ziplining, and I told him yes. So he made a phone call, and within 10 minutes, he found a company who was willing for their guides to piggyback me up the mountain, and I could actually zip line. That was one of the most thrilling experiences I've ever had. I'll never forget the look on my dad's face because I got to watch him cross the zip line before everybody else, and he looked terrified, but it was so much fun. And I've even been fortunate to do it again in an accessible environment, which is available on the Canadian side of Niagara Falls a few years later. So that is one of the best experiences I've ever had. And it was so thrilling. I can never forget it.
That really does sound incredible. Thank you for sharing with me. I'm glad that you were able to you identified something you wanted to do, you found an accessible way to do it, and it sounds like you had a great time.
I did. It's just one of those things that I am never gonna forget. And I really encourage anyone, if you want to do anything, don't let any struggle or difficulty stop you. It's all possible. You just have to find a way.
Thank you so much, Hawa. It kind of leads into my second question, which is how has your disability or your diagnoses impacted with your ability to pursue that joy or to pursue what makes you happy?
There are a lot of good days, but there are some moments and days which are not so good. And, in recent times, I really thought, the hunt to find employment as a individual with a disability was really turning a corner with so much, remote work and stuff. But I'm really disappointed to see that in recent months, the availability of remote work has dropped to only 13% of all job postings out there. And for me, this is a huge difficulty because I, even though I tried to learn how to drive as a teenager, it was just not something I was able to accomplish due to mobility issues and also significant muscular tone in my left side. So to see that this crux and type of work is kind of fading into the background after we did so well during COVID is really disappointing. And I'm hoping that companies and society sees that, you can do almost any job from home that you could do in an office environment. So I'm really hoping that other companies and people see that it is possible still.
Thank you, Hawa. Yeah, it became clear to me during the pandemic how much remote work is an access issue. And when we enable remote work, then the employment gap for people, for disabled people like you and me, tends to decrease. So yeah, I share your trepidation there. Hawa, what one thing do you want the rest of the world to know about disabled life and disabled quality of life?
Well, I think an important thing to know about living with a disability and the quality of life it presents is sometimes you're just tired. And there's no amount of rest or anything that could really get rid of those tired feelings, whether it's physical or mentally tired. And sometimes you just need someone to tell you that it's okay to rest, it's okay to take a break, it's okay not to spend hours and hours trying to, push yourself to do something when you just don't have anything left. And I think that's something the disability community really struggles with because day in and day out, I feel like we're striving to prove ourselves to the rest of society. And the only time we feel like we can truly just say how tired we are is with people that we trust and live with and other members of the disability community because we're afraid that the rest of society already sees us as weak, and that's going to make them see us as even more weak.
I echo those sentiments. I often find myself pushing to get, more done than is really reasonable in a day because I'm living up to an ableist standard, I guess. And getting to unlearn that has been a joy for me, but also a process. So I see you in that. Thank you for your answer. I want to come to my last planned question now, which is one that I actually ask all of my interviewees. Where, like, is there a reasoned win that you're celebrating that we can celebrate with you? Or if not, is there anything cool that you're involved in? Any projects you've got going on? Where can people find you online if they want to network? All that good stuff. So this is your soapbox moment, right? This is your time to be a cheerleader for yourself. Please brag.
So, an exciting moment that happened to me last week was I'm in the middle of completing my doctorate in education at the University of South Florida. And my internal research review application so that I can finish my dissertation was finally accepted and will be going in front of the dean in my college in a matter of weeks so that they can help me maybe distribute my survey so I can finish my dissertation. I went back and forth for over a month with this office to finish my application, and I was starting to think it was never going to be done. But last week they said it's ready to go, and all I'm waiting to hear from is my professor and her meeting with the dean in a couple of weeks. So I'm hoping I can definitely see the finish line and graduation at the end of the year, which I'm really excited about. I've been dabbling in freelance writing for a little while during my dissertation, and I'm really excited with some of my more recent publications, including a recent article in the Journal of Disability Compliance in Higher Education. And I really want to get more into that. So anybody who has any freelance writing opportunities for accessibility or DEI related issues, please reach out to me on LinkedIn. You could just search my name, Hawa Alarakia, and you'll see me there. I'm really excited for all the other opportunities that might bring. I also do a little bit of academic culture consulting for college students. So if you're in high school and you're getting ready to jump into the world of college, reach out to me. I'm happy to help in any way I can. I've been a student in college for over a decade, so if you have a question, I could probably find you an answer.
Fantastic, Hawa. That's very noble of you. And I can put your LinkedIn profile in the video description as well, so people can find you that way. All right, my friend. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Good luck on finishing up your dissertation, becoming Dr. Hawa, and I'm rooting for you.
Absolutely, I appreciate that.
Of
One
course.
quick question. How can I get a copy of this podcast so I can post it on my LinkedIn?
Excellent question. So, I should stop recording. Audience, tune in next time. Thank you so much.